I think I'm a special one.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right, here we go. This is episode 35. We're back finally. We're actually in Qatar filming this.
Yeah, we were at the World Cup draw.
Yeah, we're in
pretty
Doha.
Surreal experience, honestly.
I'm here with Greg, Carly Lloyd, and
Cafu.
Cafu. Who else was there? Any other characters?
Bunch of people who didn't speak English.
True. All right, so we're after the World Cup qualifying, after the World Cup draw. This is kind of like our reaction. We haven't talked about it much, so it's episode 35. What's going on, Chad?
Nothing much, man. It's been a minute, but happy we got it done.
Yeah.
And qualified for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the biggest thing, is just qualifying. Yeah.
And I guess like it's okay to criticize them, but like it not qualifying last World Cup qualifying cycle like makes you realize like we're lucky to be in the World Cup. I remember tweeting the night after the Trinidad game, like we never had to experience not qualifying for the World Cup. And for like, if you're being realistic about US as a soccer country, we're not at the top of the top. So like we were due for a letdown at some point. It just happens for all national teams. So like, I think it will make us appreciate this World Cup experience more. I feel like.
Yeah. And the pressure from qualifying is definitely going to help in the World Cup. I feel like
100%.
From qualifying, you have so much pressure,
mm-hmm.
and then it changes. Like the U.S. are kind of the underdog
mm-hmm.
in the World Cup,
and you saw it in the. This is a long intro here, but you saw it in the between the games, like the criticizing Greg, the media getting on him after a draw or a loss or a bad performance, which is I think it shows that we're growing as a soccer country. You even see like more like random USMNT fans like on Twitter or on other social medias, like. It's just growing, and I think it brings more interest to it.
Yeah, it was wild. I was sitting there with a friend, and I started going to my Instagram stories, and I told him, like, look at this. And I'm not even kidding. I think it was like 20 in a row of the USA is qualified. Like, people reposting and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
I reposted the one of like Pulisic crying, but then Pulisic now like helping him up as like a cartoon.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah,
I reposted a TikTok, and it was like super emotional.
Yeah.
It was like the call when they didn't qualify,
mm-hmm.
and then it was like all the players for their teams.
Yeah,
sick.
So, what are you wearing, dude? We didn't do our.
Oh man, I'm wearing a Panama training kit. I thought it fit since we played Panama.
In Orlando.
In this window.
Yeah,
I think I've worn it before, but it's honestly
fresh.
Pretty fresh. Yeah,
New Balance.
Shout out Panama.
It's kind of like the sleeve has like some tiger stripes. Kind of looks like the kicking and screaming, like the blue jerseys.
Yeah, facts. It does.
It's fresh.
Yeah, what you got?
So I'm wearing I think it's a 2011 training top. I remember they wore these during
big training top.
Big training top podcast. We're actually training top podcast. They wore them like as a warm up in the 2011 Gold Cup. I remember that we went down to RFK Stadium to watch them play Jamaica. Josie Altidore subbed off in the first 10 minutes with a hamstring injury. Shocker. But they ended up winning. I think Dempsey and Jermaine Jones both had goals. How many minutes?
Not even 5 minutes in, and we already got our first Josie shot.
I remember. But dude, it was a cool game. But I remember them wearing this training top, and I think I bought it at the game or online or something. Maybe I got it for my birthday, but it's pretty cool. It's got like these like gold like dots over it. It's fresh.
Nice.
But yeah, so last World Cup qualifying window, we did a review after every game, and I thought it was kind of sick. I thought our reviews were pretty good. We did like an hour long after every one, but we just like the schedule just didn't match up, and there was less time in between, so we just figured we'd do one after 3 games. But then the draw was so close that we figured let's just do one after the World Cup draw as well. So we're sitting here now. U.S. qualified, finished 3rd in CONCACAF, and we know our group for the World Cup pretty much. So, hey, We drew England, we drew Iran, we drew the winner of the European playoff, which will either be Ukraine, Wales, or Scotland. You just want to talk about like the last window, maybe talk about like the roster first, and then kind of progress in all three games. We don't have to go like super tactical in depth.
Yeah, the roster was pretty much as we expected. No real surprises.
No Brooks again. That got to stay out of the fans.
No Brooks and no Scally were the two big ones. But I think with this roster, you started to see like for the first time like real consistency, especially in the starting 11.
Yeah, I mean, just about all three games had close to the same 11.
Yeah, so like in the past, like Berhalter and the staff have been mix matching a bunch of lineups together, but can't blame them. You know, you bunch of young players trying to find the right squad. But now like there's a ton of consistency. We basically know who Berhalter favors and pretty much shows who's been playing the best.
Yeah, so. I mean, obviously no Weston McKennie because he was hurt, but you had Pulisic. Reina was back, not totally fit. No Brooks. I think Brooks, like the fact that he wasn't on this roster and it wasn't just a fluke that he wasn't on the last one, shows that he's down there in the depth chart. And to be honest, I think it's fine because I think Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson have shown that like they're at least two of the three guys that Berhalter has in mind. And for Berhalter, stick with them for all the games shows. So like, I mean, going to Mexico, you know, at the Azteca, getting a 0-0 draw, it's pretty good. We had chances to win the game. And like we went there and I thought we were, for most parts of the game, we were the better team. Mexico got their chances as well. But yeah, to go there without Weston McKennie, played Kellen Acosta in his spot. You know, Pulisic buries that chance probably 90% of the time. P. Falk, I don't know what he was doing on his chance, but any like takeaways from that game? Like, what were your thoughts?
Well, before the game, both teams would taken a draw.
Yeah, Mexico wasn't playing great, and I think I thought
both teams the game definitely did pick up, and it was definitely a high level. But like the game did start very slow. I think because they wanted to like take it easy to start because they both don't really want to go for it and risk it. And looking back, dude, that point was huge. I mean, like we tied Costa Rica on points. Just
the mentality might have been different against Costa Rica if we needed that win, but Mexico, U.S., and Costa Rica all had the same amount of points, so it went down the goal differential. But yeah, I think it showed. I thought our defending was clean. Yedlin was pretty good. Anthony Robinson was really good. And like Mexico, they don't offer a whole lot. Like Tecatito will give you something every once in a while. Chucky Lozano will give you something every once in a while. I don't think Jimenez is good at all, to be honest. Like, unfortunately, after his head injury, that team doesn't do much. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, well, I'm not like CONCACAF, like know it all. Like I haven't been like know so much about CONCACAF in the past 10 years, whatever. But everyone's saying how like this Mexico team is really not that good.
Yeah, but they have like players that theoretically should be progressing up. Like Edson Alvarez, fine player. He's good on Ajax, but he's never. He was young and theoretically he should have taken a step up and just didn't. But one of the things that's like fun. Do you remember the 2019 Gold Cup against Mexico, the final? And like Josie missed the chance pretty early and somebody scored late.
Yeah.
It was in Chicago, like all Mexico fans, like super high level. And it was the first time Berhalter and Tata might have played each other in a friendly in September of 2018. But then this was the real, like the first game that like actually meant something between Berhalter and Tata Martino. And they were just going after each other, like weird tactical things, whatever. And then they played that friendly in New York, September of 2019. That was also like high flying. Mexico was pressing us all over the place. We tried to build out. We couldn't build out because they were like pretty much man marking us everywhere. And I think it's cool that Berhalter now has the better of Tata in Nations League. What's the other one? Gold Cup, home qualifier, tied at Azteca. Like I think Berhalter solved the puzzle there.
Yeah, specifically against Mexico, but Mexico did end with 3 points higher than us. And
did they really? I thought we were tied.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they ended 3 points higher than us. Tata cracks me up though, dude.
He got he got like kicked out or yellow or something.
Like 1 minute he'll be like best friends with Berhalter, and the next
Yeah.
minute he'll be yelling at the ref.
Mm-hmm. He like gave him a hug like mid game or something. Like I'm sure we'd all give Berhalter a hug mid game, but take pictures with him. But yeah, so like it's Mexico, it's away at Mexico, but I think like you get his 0-0 and you walk out of there, it's like, all right, cool. And like everybody knew going in, like there was talk going in that we were going to play like almost like a B squad. So that way, like guys like Tyler Adams didn't pick up another yellow so they could play at home against Panama. Panama was the one pushing for like, they were like the 15 pushing for that top 4. And, just like dominant performance that game, pretty much the same starting 11. Shaq Moore started instead of Yedlin because of yellows. Any thoughts on that? I think like Pulisic wearing the armband. The U.S. has like a leadership council, Berhalter calls it, right? So I think it rotates between Adams, Pulisic, Walker Zimmerman, maybe McKinney. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Those 3. So like Pulisic with the armband at home, must win against Panama, like just balls out, like 2 stone cold penalties, and just like a class goal. Any thoughts from the Panama game or going into that game?
No, I mean, like I have a few tactical things from the past few games, but starting Ferreira and thought he did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you start Ferreira, you also have to start Ariola. Like they basically play for the same club team.
Dude,
so, like,
Ariola's been balling out for FC Dallas to start MLS, so like that's a good thought.
Ariola got himself a goal too. So
yeah, dude, if that was in the Premier League, you'd be like, wow, that's a nice goal. And that's Paul Ariola, who people like rag on all the time.
Yeah,
that's a good header, especially from a short guy. That's a good header.
Yeah.
Ferreira did well. I thought he linked up play pretty nicely. Something that was missing in Mexico because Pepe started and Jordan Pifak came in, and even Pifak had a chance, but like Pepe didn't really have any chances. But I think Ferreira links up better with the others.
Yeah, I think Pepe does good with it too. Like being able to get other players involved in the game. Ferreira's more like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I guess he can kind of find the final pass more than Pepe can.
Yeah, but Pepe did link up with Weah, who put the ball across for Pulisic against Mexico.
Right.
What was I going to say? Something about Pepe, something about Ferreira.
I don't know, but can we backtrack to the Mexico game real quick?
Oh, okay.
I was just wondering if you noticed that Walker Zimmerman did the ponytail in the first half and then man bun in the second half.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look back. Is that what you wrote for tactical notes?
That's one of them. Yeah, had to be.
Should I clip that, put it on Instagram, and tag him to see?
Yeah,
see if he'll come. He literally we tagged him in a story. He's one of our favorites. I DM him, ask him if he wants to come on the podcast. Ghosted. So you got to get Walker.
Busy. He's busy right now. He's all focused.
Jimmy Conrad says that Walker Zimmerman's coming on their podcast. Do you listen to Jimmy Conrad's new podcast?
No.
Well, apparently Walker Zimmerman's going to be on there, but I guess it's too good for us. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a difference.
I mean, Jimmy Conrad, World Cup veteran, scored against Mexico.
Yeah,
there's us.
Never
mind. So yeah, the game against Panama, I think, was just like Panama looked pretty good for the first like 10 minutes or so, and then I think the penalty.
They looked good the first 10 minutes of each half.
Mm-hmm.
Like they actually had like some good chances,
and that's who we lost to, right? We lost away at Panama
early
in October. That's probably how Mexico beat us on points. But what'd you think of the decoy penalty taker, Ferreira taking the ball?
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, same. I love.
Yeah, but the second time they know it's not Ferreira.
Yeah, but like the second time you'd be like, is Pulisic really going to take this again? Are they going to give him 2 penalties in the same game? That's even more of a mind trick, dude.
Yeah.
So true. I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, they, Ferreira is just like the shield to take all of like the trash talk, which is true. That's one reason. But also, I don't think people realize like at the higher levels, like there's so much data that these coaches have. So they take data on like free kicks, especially penalty takers. So if they know Pulisic's going to take it, they might either the goalie might write stuff down on his water bottle or a towel, or they'll just tell the goalie as he's taking it, like, yeah, he's 70% to the left, or like he scores going down the middle or whatever. So like as soon as Ferreira takes the ball, that messes up the relay of data to the goalie or to the players and to the goalie. So I think that's part of it too. And Berhalter's like a data guy.
Yeah, I think you're looking too far into it.
No,
I think
no.
they definitely knew Pulisic was going to take the penalty. I don't know who else would have taken it because Ferreira definitely wasn't going to take it.
I don't know. Honestly, if you were to do it again, like Ferreira's a good one because you'd probably think, oh, your number 9 might take it. Maybe you do it with a left-footed player, just in case they want to mess up the grass he's going to take it on. They do it on the other side, and it messes up the goalie a little bit too.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't really mess up the grass though because it was the first half.
You just start digging your foot into the grass next to the penalty.
Yeah, but what
spot.
if you get a penalty kick the next half on that side? And
Then you just
then
have
you're
a
screwed.
right-footed taker take it.
I don't know, dude.
What are you gonna have Anthony Robinson step up to take the penalty? If Anthony Robinson took it, he'd sky that thing so far over the goal. But yeah, Pulisic buries both, and you could tell like Pulisic is he hasn't been great all cycle, but like his like psyche in that game was like killer, and like you could tell like taking those penalties.
His third goal was so nice.
Like that's just like top class.
Yeah, like someone said, like the touch wasn't. Someone was comparing it to Bergkamp's like famous goal where he's like, didn't he like touch it around the player?
He has a couple of them where he like takes the ball out of the air and stuff. Yeah.
So like someone was comparing it to that and said Pulisic didn't mean to like take that good of a touch.
He said he meant to. I think he tweeted it that he meant to take that touch.
And the fact that he megged it too was insane.
Yeah, well, he was trying to take a touch around him. I don't think he was going for the meg.
That's true.
But it was a great finish. And then what else was I going to ask you about in that game? Something about the game. What were we talking about? Pulisic, penalty kicks. Was it the lineup? Dennis Bergkamp? Oh my gosh, dude. This is going to drive me nuts now.
I have a few little tactical nuggets that I picked up on. Thought they were interesting. If you want me to.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Can I say before I forget? So one of my takeaways from that game was like I think Gio Reyna might be the most talented U.S. player I've ever seen, like in my lifetime. Now I've never like sat down and watched like I don't know like Tab Ramos or like people talk about like guy like Tab Ramos as like just an absolute like genius with the ball.
Tab Ramos?
Yeah. Like he's the one who took the elbow in the 94 World Cup. From
I wasn't around, so
no. Well, neither was I, but that's what I'm saying. But like Gio Reyna, like by talent, I'm talking like pure like potential that he hasn't recognized. Like I think Gio Reyna could be. So I was texting somebody like in the same way you think of Sancho, like theoretically, like someone like Jadon Sancho could win the Ballon d'Or. He's never going to, but he could. Gio Reyna's in that same, and I don't mean to compare him because they were at Dortmund. They're just he's at the same level as a Jadon Sancho in terms of what's their ceiling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
because I think he's just with like ease, he could like play between lines and turn and move and wiggle and dribble through guys like he did it at Mexico. And like if he adds like a little bit more like final like killer instinct and like his pressing's good, I just don't think he's intense all the time. Like he kind of has bad body language too, but like if that's a guy, if you prioritize getting him minutes and making sure he gets to the next level, he stays healthy, dude, he's going to be incredible. Like that's a guy in a World Cup could single-handedly win us games. Not in the fact that he's scoring goals, but in the fact that he picks the ball up 2 times in a dangerous area, slots a nice through ball, and one of them turns into a goal.
Yeah, I think obviously with young players, you can see like their technical skill being able to dribble by players, but it's just about the final product too. Like the same thing with Pulisic. Like it turned out to be that you need to see more final product.
Yeah, but
and now you're finally starting to see it.
Yeah, Pulisic's always been good in the box. So I think Reyna's more talented than Pulisic.
At their age.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Pulisic was also like the best player in CONCACAF for like months at 17 or whatever. Yeah. But I think it's easier to see Reyna scale up at the world-class level than it is Pulisic. That makes sense.
Yeah, but we also shouldn't get ahead of ourselves because he had one nice run against Mexico. Like,
no, I'm not just talking that. I'm just talking like if you could find the best way to fit him into a team. And I think he'll start getting a good run of games at Dortmund now that he's back healthy. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. I don't know what his best position is, though. Does a 10 or a winger?
I think he's just like Berhalter always plays him just as a winger that tucks inside. But like I always wanted to see him just straight up a center mid, but I don't think he does the defensive work that Berhalter wants to play as a center mid.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were your tactical points?
I said a few points. Let's see. We talked about you texted me this during the Costa Rica game.
Mm-hmm.
You said like negative EP,
Position.
negative EP.
Yeah.
Like I felt like these 3 games, I noticed more that the 3 center mids were so close to like the defensive line, like way too much.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was as bad as against Mexico or Mexico pressed a little higher. In Panama, like I think the game was open so we could just play. But like you saw against Costa Rica, like they pressed at certain times, like really high pressing, but most of the game they sat in like a mid to low block. And it was like sometimes a 4-4-2, sometimes like a 5-3-2. But it was like you said, like we had our 2 center backs, Tyler Adams, and then like Musa and Acosta would just be like right next to all of them. So that's what a 5 versus 2. Like, why do you need a 5 versus 2 to build the ball up?
Yeah.
And it's like what they were doing.
I don't know if the emphasis was for instead of like the midfield players to get closer to the striker to support him, they wanted Pulisic and whoever's playing on the right to be closer to support him.
Yeah.
And dude, I feel like when we have possession, our outside backs rarely get the ball unless it's like a switch out to them. Like we're not building through our outside backs as much.
Yeah, they're part of the attack rather than the buildup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I forget who it was. There was a picture I saw like on Twitter, and it was like the Netherlands, I think, in a World Cup qualifier. And basically, like they just had a massive hole in the middle. So like someone like Frankie de Jong would drop back between center backs, the wing backs would go high, and they had like 3 or 4 strikers like up against the opposition back line. So like their formation was just like a big square, like nothing in the middle. And like we looked like that at times because Acosta and Musa dropped too far back, and our wing backs were up, and Pulisic and who's the right winger? Weah. And Weah were pinched in next to Pepe. So like there was just like nothing in the middle of the field, which is like that's an okay like tactical thing if you think you have an advantage there. But like we're getting the ball out to like Anthony Robinson, and like there was no pass for him to make other than backwards, and like we just didn't have anything. We didn't have anyone there to unlock the game in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, if you look at like Musa is not really going to unlock a game in the attacking third.
Which makes me think, should we just now play an attacking midfielder, someone who could get higher up the field and like play in between lines instead of having 3 players who just like kind of hover around the same positions?
Yeah, that's why I thought Giorena and Luca Del Torre should have came in, which they did eventually, but I didn't think they were deployed like between that line. Like I was telling Dad, and like, you know, Dad picks up on some tactical stuff, but not like, you know,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, look at our center midfielders. They're in front of if Costa Rica's in a 4-4-2, they're in front of the midfield 2, closer to our center backs. You need at least 1 or 2 of them to be behind the midfield 2. Mm-hmm. Now they have to check their shoulders and know where things are, but it was too easy for the Costa Rica back line to just keep like managing to mark our wingers and our forward.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest problem. And I don't think it was a mistake. Like I think that was the tactical plan. It just didn't work out.
Well, I also think it relates to sometimes how they pressed, because they're all more defensive minded midfielders.
Yeah.
And when they pressed, I noticed that the outside backs would stay home, and the center mid, like the outside center mid, would go press the outside back sometimes.
The outside center mid.
Like if they're pressing, if the U.S. are pressing towards one side.
Oh, like Costa Rica's
like
building up.
Say, I don't know. I noticed it more in the first 2 games.
Okay.
Because I didn't focus that much on the Costa Rica game.
Panama tried to build up a good amount, like more than you would think.
Okay, for Panama, for example, if they're building down the right side, Pulisic would probably be in the space to go press at the center back or something. But then like whoever's playing on the left center midfield, like Musa would go to the outside back and Robinson would stay home.
Yeah. Now I would say you just jumped from building up and unlocking a low block to pressing. So you gotta let me know that you're switching up on
my
me
bad,
here,
my
bro.
bad.
Come on. But yeah, we talked about that before. The front three of like a Pepe, Pulisic, and Weah will be like a front three. They're connected and they're like ready to press center backs and goalie. And almost like the center forward kind of shadows the defensive mid. Like if we take Mexico, for example, like a guy like Pepe will shadow, like get in the way of Edson Alvarez so they can't pass him the ball. And then Weah and Pulisic will press the center backs. And then I think it's probably up to the outside back. If the outside back thinks he can get there, like let's say Anthony Robinson, if he thinks he can get to Mexico's right back, he goes.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't, then he stays home and blocks the wide guy. And the near side center midfielder goes to press. It happens in twos, and so they're just blocking passing lanes and getting in there.
But I was
good
relating both of those because of the player personnel that Berhalter chose.
So you're saying he chose those midfielders to cover ground to press those? Interesting.
Instead of be the ones to create.
Yeah.
And
so you're saying
connect with the forward players.
So is he prioritizing, like his key to the game is stop them from building up, we'll worry about the attack, rather than worry about the attack and crap, we got to deal with the pressing when it comes, which I think is fine against Mexico because Kellen Cuss will cover ground and he was pretty good against Mexico. But like, do you need that against away at Costa Rica? Like,
yeah.
Which is, if I had to make a bold prediction, I love Yunus Musa. I like what he brings to the team. I like his like ball playing and he's smooth with the ball. There's going to be games in the World Cup, even if he's one of our best 11 players, that he doesn't play. Because I think we're going to find players that can unlock a defense, like unlock an Iran, more than a Yunus Musa can. Maybe Musa even slides deeper, and I don't know. But that's just kind of like my bold prediction.
I agree. He's not as attacking as what people think.
It's not that I am not happy with him because I love what he brings to the team. It's just like sometimes it's like, is that it? Can he do that in a slightly different role up the field?
And he's a little sloppy sometimes.
Yeah, he's not that.
And he has
technical.
a weird skill where like he'll dribble into a dude and still have the ball.
Yeah.
He'll come out with the ball.
It's like the guy's turning and it's almost like he purposely takes a bad touch to like maneuver around him to like bait him in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a real skill. Yeah. Like I bet if you trained with him, you'd be like, that's his technical skill. Like he's not that technical, but he's just like a baller. But yeah, like it'd be cool to see him work between lines a little more. But I think he's just like a deep line player.
Not a deep line player.
He comes deep. He's not like a Pirlo.
I think he wants the game in front of him. Is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He's like it's like half a regista. But that was my observation with the Costa Rica game too. I mean, set piece goals were sloppy. I think we got to be more aware, and I think we'll get that cleaned up.
Also, from the Costa Rica game, Christian Pulisic was total free roam.
Was he?
At times, yeah. He was ending up on the right, the left, the middle. And
I mean, part of that
every single time, like the camera panned to him, he was yelling at the ref.
Yeah, he was mean in the Panama game too. He gave the ref like a good job, like one of those.
The Wake video.
Yeah, that was good. That was good humor.
Good dance.
Oh well, he's also on free roam probably because, like I said, where like our center mids drop deep and we kind of have like a hole in the middle, which means our left and right winger can tuck in and be closer to Pepe. Well, then he's going to roam across that back line or front line, whatever you want to call it, the whole time. So yeah, he's going to be more on a free roam.
He was probably just feeling himself in the game before.
Oh yeah, 100%. Which I wish, like it's great that Pulisic gets that hat trick. I want him to put it together in multiple games. I'd rather him not boom and bust. I'd rather him like be like a goal, an assist, a goal, like that kind of thing. I think might be better for his confidence.
Yeah,
long term.
That's any player. No.
Well, some guys are just score a hat trick.
You know what
I'm trying to say. Like it would have been cool for him to do it in multiple games.
All right, I'm gonna bring it up.
Any
goalie controversy?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought Stefan. First of all, maybe I'm not remembering correctly. I'm sure there was times I thought he was fantastic against Mexico. Like there was a couple times I don't know if it was good goal like technique goalkeeping, but he pushed the ball over top. He parried one wide. Seemed like he was like calm and collected. And then against Panama, and then against Costa Rica, he was not good at all. He fumbled one against Panama and like was just shaky coming out like 2 or 3 times against Costa Rica. So like, I don't know. Did you see the same thing? Like,
Yeah.
even against Mexico,
definitely.
did you think he was good against Mexico?
I didn't even notice, honestly.
All right, that's a good thing, I guess.
I didn't notice much.
But yeah, dude. So
Yeah, he that's the thing. Like he is shaky. He's so like just a calm dude, which is like something
it's a
you
good
shouldn't
thing.
be
Yeah.
as a goalie. No,
I'm-
you shouldn't
I'm-
be calm as a goalie. You should be like
a psycho.
yeah.
Well, like you want a calm guy who's confident, but also a psycho, I guess. I don't know.
Dude, his distribution, like at first when he started playing with the national team and at the crew, he would like just play balls blindly to like the middle and like they'd get picked off. Now he's like skipping a guy with a pass, which is like he's always making like a good pass. Like he was class with his possession build out.
I'll have to go back and look at that. That's what people like to give him credit.
Keep talking.
For.
I'll be right back.
So the game that I mentioned earlier, where it was 2019 friendly in New York against Mexico, we lost 3-0. And it was like probably the most like high intensity friendly I've ever seen. He was getting like just rattled. I think he gave a few balls into the 6, just got picked off. Like he's trying to build out. I'm sure Berhalter kept saying build out, and Mexico's like pressing like pretty much man for man, and he's still trying to build out. So like, yeah, I think he's good with his feet, but like, I'm not sold on Matt Turner either. Like, I don't know, he was hurt, so he wasn't in camp. Like, I don't think we have a best goalie, but I think if the World Cup was tomorrow, Berhalter's going with Stefan. With everything he knows, he's going with Stefan.
Yeah,
everyone healthy.
Dude, if Horvath gets promoted too
with Forrest
to the Prem, he might be the starting goalie, and then it's a third name in the mix.
Yeah, dude. If Horvath, like
legend, dude.
Legend. If he never plays for the national team again, like he's a hero. Like,
dude, was that his last touch? Was the penalty save?
It must have been, dude. Yeah, because like he hasn't.
The game ended like right after, right?
Yeah, he hasn't played in a game since. I mean, he wasn't in the Gold Cup. He didn't play in any qualifiers.
I think the plan for the goalies. I mean, like Turner's going to be the backup at Arsenal, right?
They'll probably sell Leno, so I would assume so.
Yeah. So I think the plan is Stefan is the backup all the way to the World Cup, and then gets a move elsewhere.
But like
whoever's the starter at the time will probably be the backup at their club.
So would you
play in the World Cup? We'll probably do decent, depending on how they do.
We'll probably do decent.
Decent.
Great take.
And then they'll go.
So would you rather?
That was Stefan's plan all along.
Let's say Stefan, he was just like, let me be the backup. Come on.
No, let him be the backup, and then after the World Cup.
World Cup's in November. Stefan's the backup for Ederson at City. Turner's the backup for Ramsdale at Arsenal, which I think Turner might be able to get more games, maybe a few Prem games than Stefan would. Does one of them ask for a loan? Whether to maybe I doubt they could be loaned out to be a starter for a Premier League team, but maybe they go somewhere else or for like a championship team. And they're like, heck with it. Like it's 50-50 if I'll be the starter for the national team. If I'm the backup here, I'm going to go be a starter and take a risk on myself that Berhalter values that and I get better and perform well. That could be interesting. Like who's gonna step out first? Like it's a silent tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like low key beefing with each other, right?
Low key. But like maybe Horvath gets promoted with Forrest and he's just like,
and then he puts his name in the mix. He's like, don't forget me, boys.
Yeah, it's a silent tournament. Like they're not beefing, but like they're eyeing each other up. Don't forget me, boys. And then you got like just steady state. I think Sean Johnson's pretty good, dude. If Andre Blake was American, I think he'd be our starter. Sean Johnson's good. You still have like the guy from the Fire, Selena, the young guy. There's a few others too, but
you love the Earthquakes goalie. You're always talking about
Marcin Winsky or whatever.
Marcin Towski.
I don't know, dude. He's good, man. So I was reading a lot. Maybe we can go through it later if we have time of like possible wild cards for the World Cup roster, and he's on there for me, dude. Now the Earthquakes are absolutely terrible. And I don't
Dude,
know
we
how
just
that
named
could.
almost three Premier League goalies.
Yeah, but it's a silent tournament, bro. And Marcin,
It
there's
is
no one more silent than
It is a
Marcinkowski.
it is a silent tournament.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention.
Tournament. So do you want to talk about the World Cup draw? I mean,
Yeah.
we end up finishing third. Costa Rica's in fourth, so they'll have to play, I think, New Zealand sometime in June. So, yeah. So talk about our group. We drawn in Group 2,
Group B.
Group B.
Yeah.
Pop
And
2.
England's exactly the team that, like, I wanted to be in England's group
Because they're England, or because you think they're a weak Pot 1 team?
No, not because they're weak, but I think they have the second best chances of winning the tournament.
Like odds?
I think they do have the second best odds, actually. But I think England has a good chance of winning the tournament. I just want to see USA England.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I will say,
like you go to the World Cup, you got to play the best teams eventually.
I will say, first of all, the game is on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Going to be the most watched game in American soccer history. It's freaking cool. And okay, if you draw a France, a Pot 1 team like France, I don't think we really have much of a chance. But in England, there's so many, the squad's so deep, but who are their go-to guys? They could plug okay, Harry Kane could take a dip in form, maybe not. But you see the turnover with the center backs. People want Maguire out of United, and Stones isn't getting a whole lot of time at City, and then they're calling up Connor Cody, and is Kyle Walker not the best player, the best right back for City anymore? And it's just there are some question marks there.
Well, the same thing goes for everyone who posts those an 11 picture with players underneath with the depth that the US has. It's there's only 11 players that play on the field,
Yeah. Well, England's so deep, but not saying it hurts them, but there's also players that I think have peaked internationally that are coming down. And
but they also have young players who are
the young players are great. But a Luke Shaw has played for England left back in the past, but he's really not that good anymore. And I think United are going to move on from him.
I don't think the Luke Shaw is the player the US are worried about.
No. Yeah, but all right. So we could have our right center mid go press Luke Shaw, or Serginho Dest.
I'm just saying it's a great.
Yeah,
we'll preview it when it comes around, but I think it's just a great matchup. I don't know,
I think it'd be cool. So we open with the winner of So Pot 3, we get Iran. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about Iran.
I do, actually.
Oh, tell me about Iran.
Apparently they have a pretty decent striker. He's a gold in FIFA too. I looked it up.
Snap,
did you know Steven Beitashour played for Iran?
Really?
2012 to 2014.
MLS vet, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently they just have a good striker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything else about it, but they were the first team to qualify from. Are they Asia?
You're asking
questionable.
You're asking the wrong
questionable
guy.
Geography.
Yeah. And then I think the hardest Pot 4 team, or Pot 4 possibility, was what we got. Though either Ukraine, Wales, or Scotland. I think Scotland's already in that playoff, and it's the winner of Wales or Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be tough, man.
No.
The Wales is already in. The winner of Scotland, Ukraine.
Dude, questionable again. I'm not sure, actually.
I don't know. It's any one of those three. To be honest,
I thought Wales played 2 games.
Maybe Wales is already in.
No, they would have only played 1. I don't know.
But dude, all right, Wales, you got guys like Ramsey, Gareth Bale.
Scotland's already in. Scotland's
big. Scotland's good, man. McTominay, Kieran Tierney,
dude.
They just have good players, guys that Billy Gilmore. I know those are some of the bigger names, but they have guys that play at good levels. And even Ukraine too, they have European caliber players.
And they got the world behind them. That's what everyone's saying. It's Ukraine could be one of the toughest teams because everybody's rooting for Ukraine.
I guess so. I mean, this is soccer, not war. I don't know. I know they're good, and they were a dark horse sleeper that I think I picked on the podcast for the Euros.
Yeah,
they didn't end up doing too well,
no.
But that's a tough one because we couldn't have drawn Canada because they were in our qualifying group. Canada's another tough pot 4 team. But dude, we literally got the easiest pot 4 team. I think Saudi Arabia. We got Saudi Arabia, but because they're in the same qualifying group as Iran, we weren't allowed to get them. So it stinks because I'd almost rather trade. I'd rather take the risk, get rid of Iran for a different pot 3 team, but keep Saudi Arabia as our pot 4 team. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Pot 3, you might have gotten a Senegal or something, but I don't know, man. I think I would still take that risk. But I'm like, but I was seeing a lot of people like reactions on Twitter, and they're like, "Yeah, we should definitely advance from the group." But we push England. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I kind of got like disappointed. Like, but maybe I'm just overrating like some of these European teams. Like, just because they're big, bad, and European doesn't mean we're not going to be able to beat them. But
we did get out of the group of death in 2014. Facts.
So I don't know. It's at least there's like cool storylines, like the England. So I think got to at least get a point from that European game, the European playoff game. I think you could afford a loss to England, knowing that Iran is the third game, and like obviously Iran's 3 points. We lost 3 points with goal differential.
Iran's the third game. Mm-hmm. England's second, right?
Yes. Sweet. But yeah, do you want to like any other thoughts on the group? Like, what are your what was your like initial thoughts? Were you like, heck yeah, this is a sick group? Or...
No, I was excited when we drew England. I was like, yes, we got England because I won. But like obviously,
yeah, but you're a hype beast. Like
obviously, I wanted to get Group A, like play Qatar.
Yeah, well, there's also that thing. I'm pretty sure the host has made it out of the group like every time. So like it seems like they're gonna make it out. Like I don't know. I don't think Qatar is as bad as people think. That group's terrible though.
It's not too bad.
What is the group? Do you want to go through the groups and give our first and second?
It's actually pronounced Qatar.
Okay.
And then Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands.
Okay, that's kind of tough. I'll say Netherlands first and then Senegal second, but that could change. Let's go through all of them. We'll just give first and seconds, initial reactions.
Okay. Excuse me.
Because we don't have enough time to do this in the future.
Group C is Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico. I'm gonna say Argentina and Poland. I'm out on Mexico, man. I am all the way out on Mexico. I don't think they're good.
It's so based on like their like the
right now
form.
Yeah, form. Right now it's just reputation. So
like yeah. I don't think Poland's much, dude.
Lewandowski, bro.
Dude.
Lewandowski.
Come on, bro. He can't do it himself. Like he scores so many goals for Bayern because of the players he's with. Like I know it sounds like a basic take, but like
but can he do it against Mexico?
If Poland had like a class creative midfielder, I'd be like, dang, like Poland's like legit.
Isn't one of the isn't Szoboszlai Polish? He's Szoboszlai.
He might be Australian.
He's not Australian.
Austrian.
Yeah, he could be Australian. All right, what's the next group? Group D?
Group D is France, the playoff one.
Which I think is the Costa Rica one.
I think Costa Rica and New Zealand's number 2.
Oh, okay.
Denmark and Tunisia.
Well, I was just gonna say France and Denmark anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe people might be overrating Denmark because of like the stuff that happened in the Euros.
Yeah.
They were just inspired.
Yeah. If you replaced us with Denmark, I would feel confident about being second in that one.
Yeah. I don't know who's in the Intercontinental Playoff 1.
You got to find that out, dude. Those Intercontinental play. And that went from 2 legs to 1 leg. Like it's just a single game in Qatar. And it's in June.
Oh, it's Peru.
In Australia, right?
No.
It's the Asia winner. Yeah, and Australia's in Asia.
Peru plays the winner of Australia or the United Arab Emirates.
So it's probably going to be Australia.
Well, it could be Peru. They're like waiting.
Well, I'm saying Australia on the other side. Yeah. So maybe it's Peru. Yeah. So that group is not that hard. Like I'm sure Peru's decent, but like that, if you replaced us, I'd rather have a harder first, like pot one team like France. I don't think we'd get anything from France. But then like second is so up there for grabs.
Yeah.
Continue.
Like this is why we love the World Cup, though. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we do beat England.
Yeah. We're going to.
Like
when Gio Reyna finds his form and is like a Ballon d'Or candidate.
Yeah, he skips right past Maguire.
Yeah. No, Maguire's not going to be playing at that point. Neither is Stones, Luke Shaw, Kyle Walker. It's going to be all new guys. He's going to skip right past Connor Cody.
This is a pretty tough group. Spain, Germany, Japan, and the winner of New Zealand and Costa Rica. Spain and Germany in the same group.
I don't think Costa Rica stands a chance.
That's what happened in 2014 World Cup. Costa Rica.
Yeah, they were in the group of death with Italy and Uruguay and all them. But yeah, I'd say Spain and Germany. I think Germany finishes first. Spain's probably second.
I feel like Japan always finds a way to get out of the group too. And
they I don't even think they were in the World Cup in 18.
Yeah, they were, because they played Belgium.
Oh yeah, true. How'd they get out? Wow. You sure that wasn't South Korea?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
South Korea, I don't think got out of the World Cup.
Yeah, but they did beat Germany to knock them out. What's the next one?
Group F, another interesting group. Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Yeah, that one's tough there.
Yeah, dude. Hakimi on Morocco.
Oh yeah, true. I was gonna say Ziyech. Ziyech is, I think, is like done playing for Morocco.
He's done.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Morocco
Canada's a tough pot for, you know.
Yeah, dude. Like I wanted to have Canada as one of my dark horses, but I don't think they're going to be, man. But that is a tough group. Shocker.
And Croatia's getting older too.
Yeah, but I still think Croatia. If there's a group where a pot one team goes out, I think it's that one. No, I love Belgium. I think they're great. But could I see a scenario where Belgium get 2 points from their first 2 games? Yeah.
Dude, I think it's probably Belgium's last chance, right?
Yeah.
You got De Bruyne is getting older. Hazard, he still plays good for Belgium.
Vertonghen
getting older. Dude, I don't even know if Vertonghen is going to be
Thomas
playing.
Vermaelen.
Courtois, I mean, maybe he has another World Cup in him. I don't know. Lukaku, they're all kind of
Hazards.
Yeah, man.
But dude, if Lukaku's not in good form, they're gonna play freaking Batshuayi again. They need it forward.
Group G is Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
Serbia and Switzerland are pretty big.
Dude, Brazil's
stacked, dude.
They're so good.
Dude, Brazil's gonna win the World Cup. I think that's my pick right now.
Wow.
I love this Brazil.
They're the
team.
favorites. They're plus 400. I think England's plus 650.
Well, that's a bad bet on England because we're gonna take them out. But yeah, dude, Brazil's nasty. I would think Switzerland, but Switzerland and Serbia hate each other. Cameroon, I don't know anyone on Cameroon, to be honest. Oh, Mbaza from the Unions on Cameroon.
Oh, nice.
They qualified they were playing Algeria and scored in the 93rd minute to qualify.
Yeah, they qualified on away goals.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Cameroon, I don't if Mbaza is, I like Mbaza. If he's playing for Cameroon, I don't think they're good. Or they're just really thin at right back.
The Union backup right back is the starter for Cameroon.
He started too?
Yeah, he starts for Cameroon. Yeah. Group H, last group, is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea.
That's a tough one too, man.
You got them from all over in this group.
Yeah, dude, that really covers the map here. So Portugal barely gets in. And to me, I know Bruno scored twice to pretty much send him to the World Cup. But I get annoyed when I watch Bruno and Ronaldo. I just do. But everything else about Portugal, I love. I like Cancelo. I like Ruben Diaz. I like the young Portuguese players. Renato Sanchez. I love all of those guys.
Bro, you love Portugal.
And I think the young players coming up from Portugal are next level. Just go down their roster, click on a guy, watch his highlights, see where he comes from, what his background is, and you'll be impressed. But if it's a Bruno and Ronaldo led team, I'm out. But everything else besides that,
dude, they have so many more better players. Not better, but Jota, Bernardo.
Yeah, exactly. Jota's rounded into really good form with Liverpool. He's going to be the full-time starter by that point.
Portugal really does have one of the best teams.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if it's a Ronaldo-based team and he's the captain and he walks around and he takes all the free kicks and he does this, then they're done. Like you could live with Bruno. Bruno could fit into a team and be okay. But if it's Ronaldo based, like they're done, man. But that team is so good.
Yeah, Ghana's gonna have a little bit of magic in them. They always do.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm assuming most of their players from the last time we played them are retired, but I don't know. Michael Essien comes back from no man's land. I don't know.
The IU brothers.
Yeah, the IU brothers, the Guyan or whatever his name is.
Asmo
John. There's Kwadu Asamoah.
I think Asmo John was.
Yeah, that's Asmo John. There might have been another John too. There's Kwadu Asamoah, played for Juventus. There's a bunch of different guys, but I think they're all.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone on Ghana now.
And then Son in Korea.
And who's the other guy? The Korean guy for Wolves.
Oh, Hwang Hee-chang.
Yeah. Hwang Hee-chang. He's pretty good too. So I don't know. I think that's an interesting group as well.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait.
I want to start watching some games. Like I want to watch, like next time Iran plays, I'm tuning in. And I'm about to break it down.
Yeah, really.
How long have we been going? Do you know? What time is it right now?
8:40.
So we've been going for probably like an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
So maybe we'll do an episode. You want to try and do this more regularly going forward?
Mm-hmm.
I promise we won't miss 2 months again like this.
So
maybe we'll do like an episode where we talk about like our shot at the U.S. is 23. Maybe they might actually extend the rosters to 26. But our shot at the U.S. is 23-man roster. Maybe like who could make a push, like a JT Marcinkowski for a goalkeeper, or like like chances like a guy like Josie Altidore makes the roster.
Cade Cal.
Oh, my dark horse for I love Cade Cal. My dark horse for the number 9, other than Josie. I'll save it for the episode. I'll tell you. I'll tell everyone after. You know it, dude.
Yeah, bro. It's Zardes. I know.
No, it's not Zardes. You got me, dude. You got me. It's Zardes.
Yeah, but bro, Champions League's on Tuesday.
I think that'd be a good episode. You want to talk some Champions League?
Champions League's on Tuesday.
Real quick, let's run through it. So we'll give me the matchup. We'll kind of like make a couple points and like quick predictions.
Man City and Atletico is coming up on this Tuesday, April 5th.
I think that's great for City. I like if there's a team that like Pep's got to go into the lab and figure out like how he's going to break them down, it's City. Now, like, is it going to be a rough game? And like, there might be some set pieces or whatever. Yeah. But like Atletico got a gift playing Manchester United. Manchester United is nothing right now.
I think it's going to be decided in the second leg. First leg, I can see a draw.
Pep feels them out or something.
It's at the Etihad, I think, the first game. Yeah. So
okay. With less, it might hurt Pep that he's had less time to prepare as well. Coming off the international break.
Less time to prepare, dude. He's been watching film.
I hope so.
Liverpool plays Benfica.
That should Benfica's been impressive, but Liverpool.
I think Liverpool have a legit chance of winning all 4 competitions. I mean, they've already won the EFL Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They can still win the FA Cup. They can still win the Premier League, and they're still one of the favorites to win the Champions League.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how like Liverpool and City are like both in it for, both of the competitions, the Champions League and the Premier League.
Crazy. And then Wednesday this week, April 6th, is Chelsea and Real Madrid. Just
a delicious matchup.
Repeat of last year's semifinals.
I think Real Madrid is just looking good right now. Like
people underestimate Real Madrid, say they still can't win the Champions League. Like,
yeah,
how can you say that after you knock off PSG?
They got waxed by Barca in the El Clasico, but like the week before they knocked off PSG.
Yeah,
PSG's team is incredible
when they're at full strength.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you got
seriously.
Benzema, like Vinicius. Like when Real Madrid turned it up against PSG, they were just on it. They were pressing PSG. Had no idea how to play out, and it was all Real Madrid. And like if they play like that again, like I don't know, it'd be interesting. I feel like Chelsea will somehow, like, I think Real Madrid's a better like team, but I feel like Chelsea will somehow find a way to like win that tie.
You think?
Yeah.
Villarreal and Bayern.
Should be Bayern. I mean,
should be Bayern.
Juve really fumbled the bag there. Juve was probably the worst of the big clubs left.
Yeah.
But Villarreal played some good soccer. Unai Emery's Villarreal, by the way.
They always do. They always do.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Bayern should face any scare there.
Bayern do struggle at times though. Like they just before the international break, they did dip in form. They literally don't have any outside backs.
Yeah, well, Davey's got to be coming back soon, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's it, right? There's only
Yeah.
4 games.
only
All
4.
right. So is that it for this episode? Anything else you want to talk about?
Preview MLS games this weekend.
Oh,
No.
dude. The meme of the guy behind the bush doing this. You didn't looking good at top of the MLS table, so we obviously paid attention to the U.S. Open Cup, best soccer tournament. Some of the games have been all right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else?
No, but it's cool seeing these local clubs in the U.S. Open Cup. You know, like
I love the U.S. I love paying attention.
Literally, when I first thought of the podcast, I thought we were going to talk about like the first idea was we talk about local soccer, like the local teams. You know, like
like hey, it's like NPSL season. We're talking about like the Keystone Conference and NPSL, which I think would be cool and like honestly probably carve out a nice niche for us, but. We could do that.
How big can that get? You know, it's like
we're not doing it to get big. I just think well, at least for me, I found it more. I love following that kind of stuff, but I found it more fun to like be able to watch US games, rewatch them, follow narratives, and like form our own opinions that other people could also like hop in on. And like I think the TikTok and the social media has helped us too. Where you post a clip and people could like give their feedback as well and like what they're thinking, rather than like. If we were given info about like NISA started and USL Championship, there's less opinions to go around, and it's just like it'd be us like reading scores or talking news, which I think lessens what we could bring. I will say I think we're probably due for another like episode where it's not based on current news. Like I love the one we did about free play. I think we learned a lot. I have some other ideas for stuff like that as well. Where it's not like coaching based, but it's more like theory and philosophy based.
Mm-hmm.
So, and any ideas anyone has, I'd love to hear them.
Yep.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. So that's episode 35.
35.
Peace. Thanks for listening.
Right. See you guys.